and soul of the game is at the Boxing Voice. Ain't no other site in the game could see the Boxing Voice.
TheBoxingVoice.com here with ESPN Skip Bayless. Skip, we know that you're a Pacquiao fan. Can you tell us how you think the fight will play out?
I'm going to save my round-by-round prediction for Friday's show for us on First Take, but I believe that Manny will force Floyd to engage early more than Floyd will want to. And because Manny's feet are so quick and his footwork is so superb, he's going to cause problems from the start. And I think he will be relentless, and I think he will start tagging Mayweather more than Mayweather has ever been tagged early in a fight. And I think he's going to force the issue quicker than other opponents have been able to. Because to me, if it goes the distance and Floyd starts to get, draw a bead on Manny in rounds, 10, 11, 12, I don't think Manny can win a decision. So I think there's going to be a knockout at some point by Manny Pacquiao.
And so you had Teddy Atlas on the show today. He was not very definitive in his pick. He said he's picking Manny, but he said that Floyd can knock him out. What do you think about that?
I was surprised by it because I think that Manny is stronger, even though he's smaller than Teddy would like him to be at this point. He's smaller than he was 5 or 6 years ago. Not that much. And I still see a lot of power in those punches. And he is 36 and Floyd is 38. And I think people are discounting that Floyd at 38 has lost some. We saw it in his last 3 fights where age was starting to creep in and he was a little vulnerable. So I think Manny will be able to take advantage of that. And I'm not sure who at the end of the show Teddy was picking. He started with Pacquiao and then he seemed to be making an even stronger case for Floyd. So all I know is I'm picking Pacquiao.
And there was a lot of speculation that maybe Floyd was pressured into this fight. Do you believe there was actual pressure? I mean, outside of the fact that the magnitude of this fight and the financial, that what it brings for both fighters, but do you think he was pressured into this fight or he did this for legacy?
I believe that he felt pressure from the public, from the media, to finally stop and say, okay, I will do this, because I think his preference was for the last 5 years to just fight a last couple of fights against whomever and retire at 49-0. And I think he felt pressure because so many people started to say, but Floyd, do you want to be asked for the rest of your life why you ran from Manny Pacquiao? And he couldn't bear it anymore. And whether it's for legacy or pride or whatever it is, I think he got shamed into finally fighting Manny Pacquiao. I'm not sure that Floyd's heart is completely in this, because I do think he fears what Manny brings to the table, which is something different than he's ever fought, which is quickness of foot and quickness of hand that at least can match Floyd. I think Manny's ring mind, his strategic mind, is underestimated and underrated, and I think Floyd knows that. And obviously the punching power, the born punching power that you can't create or get in a weight room, lies with Manny Pacquiao.
Along with the southpaw stance, too.
It's
just to add to it.
It seems to have caused Floyd, I don't want to overstate this, but a little bit of trouble. You could argue back to me that Floyd has the antidote, which is the right to the left, and that he might sneak in some rights that will cause Pacquiao a little problem. But again, the southpaw style, the unorthodox attack, it just comes from everywhere, but it's calculated on Pacquiao's part because the footwork is superb. It's quick and superb, and it's in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, here, there, here, there, here, there, side to side, side to side, and it's hard to draw that bead. So again, I'm thinking that Pacquiao needs to end this thing before the 10th round, because if you leave it, we are here in Vegas, it is a home court, I think, for Floyd, and again, the judges would probably give a slight nod to Floyd if it goes the distance.
Final question. How much do you think that your engagement with Stephen A. Smith on the show, where he said, that's it, I'm never buying another Mayweather fight, because it was always you pushing him, saying, why doesn't he fight Pacquiao? And Stephen always had Mayweather's back, and then he finally gave up. Do you think that had anything to do, because your show is so big?
I think without patting our own backs, but I do think our show has some impact, and I do think Floyd and the Money team watch our show, and I think after a while, they all realized, even though I was pushing and badgering and daring Floyd to take this fight, I think they realized that the shame, thanks to what had grown on our show, had reached the boiling point where Floyd just, he couldn't resist this anymore. He couldn't run from it. He had to give in to it. And so we'll take a little bit of credit, because Stephen A. deserves a lot of credit, because he loves Floyd Mayweather, and he finally said, okay, if you're going to fight Amir Khan, I'm out. I'm not even going to buy the fight. I don't want to hear about the fight. I don't want to watch the fight. And I think that had a more profound impact on Floyd than anything I could say.
Just real quick, last thing, because you were around for Ali and you were around for Sugar Ray Leonard and Hearns and Hagler, where does this rank in terms of the hype and, if not the impact of what the fight means in the rankings and history of boxing, in terms of the hype and magnitude and just the number of people that will actually be watching, especially given social media is around now?
It's a great question you ask, and I'm not sure I have the great answer for it. This is just me. It's not Ali, Frazier 1, 2, or 3. It's just not. It's just that was like legendary. You just knew. It's not Ali Foreman. That's not to me, because the heavyweight division was the pinnacle of the sport, and it was so great and so deep in talent during the Ali era. I was at all the Sugar Ray fights. I will say this is eclipsing those. The Leonard Hagler, Leonard Hearns, whichever. This is feeling slightly bigger than those to me. Now maybe that's just a individual perspective, and it's because it took so long to make this fight. Maybe I've waited so long that the truth is, it's a little surreal that we're here. Like this is actually, I think it's going to happen on Saturday night right here. And that's hard for me to sort of embrace right now, because it seemed like we just spent 5 or 6 years on First Take. We did it like every other day. Why won't this happen? And after a while, I gave up on it. My partner, Stephen A., gave up on it. So it's here. So maybe I'm too caught up in the magnitude of how long it took. But I can't go Ali fights, the big ones, but I can go beyond the Sugar Ray fights for the magnitude feel of this right now.
Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.